Spring is officially less than 30 days away, and I have been counting down to spring by starting seeds every Monday so that I can catch up and then keep up with the seeds that I want to have in my garden. Today is a very special seed sowing day. Because spring is so close, it is rearing its little tiny head everywhere around the garden. The poppies that I sowed over some melting snow are starting to pop up. Creamy yellow lupins are starting to germinate where I planted them, I feel like months and months ago, like ages ago. The tulips, of course, are starting to pop up like little blushing, like they look like ballpoint pens. And my perennial phlox, which is one of my favorite plants in my garden, is starting to flush out again for the early spring. It has such a beautiful scent. And some of the very first things that I planted in my first video, these garlics, are starting to pop up again. And soon this whole garden is going to be, instead of mostly brown, it's going to be all green and just like full of life. My peonies that I've had for almost 3 or 4 years are starting to show up, and that always makes me so happy. Even though the weather has been crazy, spring is on its way. Time is ticking. The plants know that it's time to grow, and the spinach that I sowed from seed are growing. All of the snapdragons that I've been overwintering and the ones that I started from seed and planted out just a few weeks ago in one of my other videos are growing and doing great. They survived this last cold snap that we had. All of my roses are starting to flush up and put on new growth, which is really exciting, but also is a sign that I need to do my pruning. So that'll be coming in a future video. Lady, of course, my garden companion, is enjoying the warm weather, and that I am also outside with her enjoying the warm weather. I have this little rain barrel bucket. Ooh, they gave me an extra trash bin, and I used it to collect rainwater that I've been using throughout the winter, but it is frozen solid. So I thought I could get some rainwater. I like watering my plants with it when I can. I feel like it's better than the treated water that comes from my pipes, but it'll have to wait for another day. All of the things I have growing in my dinky little greenhouse are doing great. Everything's growing. The only thing is they're not getting any of the rain that we're having. I need to keep on top of their watering, so that's being added to the little chore list of maintaining the garden this spring. If you've been following along and watching, you know that I like to sow a lot of my seeds in recycled soup containers. I poke holes in the bottom. I know they seem really small, but this has worked for me year after year. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, So this is how I sow my seeds. I don't really invest a lot in my seed starting materials. I think if I were to scale up and do like huge big production, that would just make it easier. But for now, I have these soup containers. I poke little holes in them, and then we are ready to start the seed. The seeds today are special because they're not just for me. They are for selling, possibly. I've been dabbling in cut flower growing and just gardening in general for almost 4 or 5 years now. It's been quite a journey, but this year I decided I was going to try to really go all in with the cut flowers and try to figure out a way to help this garden pay for itself in my small town and my little community. The only problem is people around here don't really understand flowers and understand gardening as well as they do in some other parts of the country. So I feel like, one of the ways that I thought I could try to tackle this issue or this obstacle is through selling plants and actually selling cut flower plants and plugs, things that are functional, things that have multiple purposes in the garden. So this first tray that I'm sowing are actually mostly herbs, actually all herbs, including some lemon balm that was initially supposed to be part of my $50 cut flower garden, which I'm doing a $50 cut flower garden, if you don't know. The lemon balm was supposed to be part of that. I also bought some spearmint because I love this tea that I've been drinking, but I got home and realized that it was peppermint. So I had to return the spearmint, and now I have my peppermint. I kind of want this to go crazy in my garden because of how much peppermint tea I drink. I drink like 2 cups a day. I'm not joking. Like, I drink a lot. So this first tray is a lot of herbs that I hope to sell and have little baby plants of, but also things that I want in my garden to make teas. I buy a lavender plant every single year and I kill it every single year. So this year I said no more buying a full lavender plant. I'm going to start them from seed and try my best to have them in well-draining soil. So that's part of my problem. We have really wet, hot, humid spells throughout the summer, and I just think the lavender needs very specific conditions. So it might not do well where I live, but I'm going to try it one more time from seed. We'll see how it goes. This is something I probably should have started quite a few weeks ago because it grows really slowly, but it's from seed, so it didn't cost as much. You know what I'm saying? It'll cost time and patience, but the final tray that I'm sowing today, again, are mostly things that aren't really for me, but they are, but they aren't. So a lot of these seeds are from the Dollar Tree, from Target, and even from Walmart. I have like 2 packs of seeds that were 50 cents at Walmart. I will say, for budget seeds, you don't get as many per packet, but I personally really like that. Like, I really like not getting a ton of seeds because I'm still working through seed packets that I've had for like 5 years. I think for a small scale home gardener, hobby gardener, you don't need that many seeds, and sometimes the seed packets just feel overwhelming. I'm someone who has a hard time killing baby plants. If you don't have a hard time killing baby plants, then just like sow the whole packet and call it a done deal. But I have a hard time doing that, so I'm trying to be very meticulous about how much I sow, and I'm loving these budget seed packets because not only were they a good price, but they also don't have that many seeds, so I don't feel like I'm going to be wasting plants. The peppers are something that I probably should have started or could have started a while ago because they grow really slowly, but I've been really focused on the flowers. Those are like my first priority, and I also have a pretty long growing season, so I think the peppers will be okay. We'll see. And then I have 2 different varieties of tomatoes, or 2 different packets. One of these packets was a 50-cent packet, and it's actually a mixture. So my thought is if I have fresh tomatoes to sell, that will be those ones, because I might not be able to ID them to sell them as baby plants, but I could sell the finished or the grown tomatoes. And then I also have some miniature zinnias, which I think will be really fun in little pots and planters as like a display or just like pop around the garden. I got them from the Dollar Tree, so they were cheap, and yeah, we'll see how all of these things grow. I've never grown seeds from the Dollar Tree or from Walmart or anything like that, but I watched 2 videos that really sparked the whole $50 cut flower garden and buying all of these seeds. So I'll link those down below, and they kind of talk, mostly what was so encouraging was the comments of people saying like, I love these seeds, I grow them every year. There's also a video, one of them will talk about like the quality, because I think one of the biggest fears with like cheaper seeds is quality, and actually all seeds in the United States are quality controlled, which is really fun, and I didn't know that. These are my little seeds, and also one of the last seed packets is this nasturtium. I've never grown nasturtium. It seems like everybody and their mom is growing nasturtium. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't really appeal to me, but I think it would be a fun plant to have pots of and to sell, because it's not something that's normally sold at like the big box stores around where I live. And where I live, there are not nurseries. There are not plant nurseries. The only options that people have around here are Lowe's and Home Depot, Walmart, Tractor Supply. That's it. So there is not a lot of variety of different options that people can pick. So I'm really hoping that people see the value of having really unique and fun plants. And either way, I'll get to grow them. If I don't sell them, I'll get to keep them. I was not expecting the seeds to look the way that they were and for there to only be like 11 in the seed packet. So I ended up sowing them in a small little pot. And then in the final container are going to go some leftover snapdragons that I've had probably for 3 or 4 years. I'm not joking. Those are all the things that I'm sowing and growing this week. If you want to see what I sowed last week and the week before, there's a lot more cut flowers in there. I've made a playlist, so this will be part of the playlist. Those are in the playlist. And yeah, let me know what you're sowing this week. Are you in snow? We just had like so much snow, and now it was just gone in the blink of an eye, which I'm very thankful for. I enjoyed it while it was here. I'm glad the weather is warmer. I love the warm weather. I like the cold too, but I'm ready for warm. I'm ready for spring. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, where I think we're going to have to prune my garden before spring comes because I am behind. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Say hi, lady. Lady, that's my spinach. Vamoose your caboose. Get off. Get off my spinach. Get off. please.